GS Faithful, Skull Nation, rise up. It's time to dive into the juiciest quarterback drama swirling around our Minnesota Vikings as of March 27, 2025. Teaser alert, Aaron Rodgers and the Vikings. Are we on the verge of a blockbuster move? Or is J.J. McCarthy locking down the future? The tension is thicker than a Minnesota winter, and I'm here to break it all down with you, play by play. Let's get into the huddle and unpack this wild ride. Grab your purple gear and let's roll. So, picture this. Vikings GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah steps up to the mic on Wednesday, and the room's buzzing. Everyone's dying to know, what's the deal with Aaron Rodgers and our squad? Kwesi's got this calm, calculated vibe, but you can feel the passion behind his words. He's dropping hints about our QB room and the big takeaway. The Vikings are all in on J.J. McCarthy as our 2025 starter, unless something insane flips the script. What do you think, fam? Are we ready to hand the keys to the kid? Here's the hook. Kwesi didn't slam the door on Rodgers. He left it cracked just enough to keep us guessing. He's talking about scenario planning and keeping options open, which is GM speak for, we're not ruling out a legend like Rodgers yet. Vikings fans, this is where it gets real. Are we banking on McCarthy's potential? Or do we need Rodgers' experience to take us to the promised land? Stick with me, because this story's about to heat up. Alright, let's set the stage. Kwesi's presser was like a Viking saga unfolding in real time. He's standing there, fielding questions, and you can tell he's got a master plan brewing. He says, right now we're happy with our room. And I'm like, Skull, brother. Tell us more. The room he's talking about? That's J.J. McCarthy and Brett Rippon holding it down. But here's the kicker, he's not locking it in stone. What's that mean for us fans? Digging deeper, Kwesi's dropping some love for McCarthy, our 2024 first-round pick who's been rehabbing from 2 knee surgeries. He's exceeded our expectations at every point, Kwesi says. And I'm over here pumping my fist. The kid's only 22, but he's got that fire. Over 2,900 passing yards and 22 TDs in his last college season at Michigan. Vikings faithful, are we hyped to see him sling it in purple or what? But wait, there's this Rodgers shadow lurking. Kwesi's playing it cool, saying they've talked with Aaron and coach Kevin O'Connell, but it's not a done deal. Rodgers, at 41, still threw for 3,500 yards last season with the Jets. Imagine him in Minnesota, airing it out to Justin Jefferson. The suspense is killing me. Do we stick with the young gun or chase the vet? What's your take, Skull Squad? Now, let's zoom in on the subtext. It's like reading the playbook between the lines. Kwesi's not just throwing out fluffy PR talk. He's laying out a vision. The Vikings want McCarthy to be QB1 in 2025. Full stop. They've poured resources into him, trading up to snag him at number 10 last year. That's a $12 million investment over 4 years. Folks, he's our future and Kwesi's betting big. But here's where it gets spicy. Rodgers isn't out of the picture entirely. Kwesi's like, we're not saying never. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh man, this could go either way. Rodgers wants to start. He's not about to ride the bench at this stage of his career. With 59,055 career passing yards and 4 MVP awards, he's a game changer. Vikings fans, could you see him leading our offense? Or is that too wild a dream? The tension's building because Kwesi's keeping his cards close. He's hinting at upgrading the QB room, but not at McCarthy's expense. So what's the move? Do we roll with JJ and a solid backup? Or does Rodgers swoop in if something derails our plan? I need your thoughts in the comments. This is pure Vikings drama at its finest. Let's paint the picture. Kwesi's presser felt like a Vikings tailgate, full of hope and just a little chaos. He's talking about McCarthy's rehab, and I'm picturing JJ grinding it out day after day to get back on the field. He's met every checkpoint, Kwesi says, and I'm feeling that purple pride swell. This kid's got grit. Remember his clutch performance in the 2024 National Championship? Pure gold. But then there's Rodgers, Mr. I've still got it. Kwesi's all, we're transparent with him. And I'm imagining these late-night calls between him and O'Connell. They've got history. O'Connell coached under Rodgers' old system in Green Bay. The Vikings went 13-4 last season with Sam Darnold, who's now in Seattle. So we know this offense can cook. Could Rodgers take it to another level? Or is McCarthy the spark we need? Here's the twist. Kwesi's not committing 100%. He's like, things can change, and I'm on the edge of my seat. What if McCarthy stumbles in OTAs? What if he's not ready by week 1? Vikings Nation, this is our roller coaster. Do we trust the process with JJ? Or do we crave that Rodgers magic? Hit me with your predictions below. Okay, let's break it down. Kwesi's got this chess game going. He's clear about one thing. McCarthy's the guy unless disaster strikes. That's the outcome we want, he says. And I'm nodding along like, Skol, JJ, let's go. The Vikings shelled out big to draft him. And he's been killing it in rehab. 100% healthy as of Tuesday. Per his own words on Up and Adams. That's our QB1 vibe right there. But Rodgers? Kwesi's leaving a tiny window open. It's up to him, he says about Aaron's next move, and I'm picturing Rodgers pacing, weighing his options. Pittsburgh's calling too. The Vikings lost Darnold and Daniel Jones in free agency, so our depth's thin, just McCarthy and Rypien right now. Rypien's got 10 career games, for starts. Not exactly screaming starter material. Do we need a vet like Rodgers as insurance? The suspense is real, fam. Kwesi's playing the long game. He's eyeing a veteran backup, but not until after May, when free agent signings won't mess with our 2026 compensatory picks. Smart move, right? So, are we cool with McCarthy running the show? Or do we want Rodgers waiting in the wings? Let's debate this in the comments. Time to get gritty. Kwesi's presser was all about balance. He's hyping McCarthy, saying, he's exceeded expectations. And I'm flashing back to JJ's college stats, 72.3% completion rate his senior year. That's precision, Vikings fans. He's young, hungry, and ready to prove himself after missing all of 2024 with that knee injury. I'm already imagining him shredding defenses in purple. But Rodgers keeps creeping in. Kwesi's like, we're good for now. But he won't shut it down completely. Aaron's a free agent, still unsigned, and the Vikings had a lot of conversations with him per Kwesi. Picture this. Rodgers to Jefferson, Hawkinson in the red zone. Could be fireworks. He's got 475 career TDs. Insane experience. Vikings faithful, are we tempted by that or sticking with our rookie? Here's the cliffhanger. Kwesi's not rushing to fill that backup spot. He's waiting, strategizing, maybe even teasing us a little. What if McCarthy's not ready? What if Rodgers holds out till summer? This is Vikings football, baby, unpredictable and electric. What's your gut telling you? Drop it below. Let's zoom out. Kwesi's laying out the Vikings QB blueprint, and it's got layers. He's all about McCarthy taking the reins, saying, that's where we're headed. JJ's been out since last August, but he's back at 100%, and the team's banking on him to lead. We're talking a guy who went 27-1 as a starter at Michigan. Clutch doesn't even cover it. Rodgers, though? Kwesi's keeping it vague. We feel good about where we're going, he says, but he's not slamming the door. Aaron's still out there, a free agent with options, and the Vikings aren't his only suitor. Pittsburgh's in the mix too. With O'Connell's system, Rodgers could thrive, think 2021, when he threw 37 TDs. Vikings fans, do we dare dream of that kind of firepower? The plot thickens. Kwesi's hinting at a veteran addition, but timing's everything. He's playing the comp pick game, waiting till May to avoid losing draft capital. So, are we patient with McCarthy's growth, or do we push for Rodgers now? This is our story, Skol Nation. Where do you stand? Let's hear it. Alright, let's get tactical. Kwesi's presser was a masterclass in GM speak. He's hyping McCarthy's progress. Every checkpoint, he's nailed it. He says, and I'm picturing JJ in the weight room, grinding to get back. The Vikings want him slinging it in 2025, no doubt. Over $300 million spent in free agency to build around him, like snagging center Ryan Kelly and D. Jonathan Allen. But Rodgers isn't fading away. Kwesi's like, we talked, we're cool. And I'm wondering what those O'Connell-Rodgers chats were like. Aaron's got a bond with our coach from their Green Bay days, and the Vikings offense ranked 5th in scoring last year, 29.2 points per game. Pair that with Rodgers' arm, could be legendary. Vikings fans, are we sleeping on that potential? Here's the twist, Kwesi's not tipping his hand yet. He's got McCarthy and Ripon, but he's hunting a number 2 QB to provide insurance. No rush, though comp picks matter. So, do we trust JJ to carry the load, or do we need Rodgers as a safety net? This is prime Vikings suspense. Hit me with your thoughts. Let's crank it up. Kwesi's got us on a roller coaster with this QB talk. He's all about McCarthy. The outcome we want. He calls it, and I'm feeling that skull energy. JJ's rehab's on point, and he's itching to prove he's QB1. Vikings faithful, remember his 2024 Rose Bowl clutch factor? That's the vibe we're banking on for next season. Rodgers, though? Kwesi's playing coy. It's up to him, he says, and I'm imagining Aaron weighing his legacy. He's still unsigned, and the Vikings haven't locked in that backup yet. With Brett Ripon as our only other QB, career 58.3% completion, depth's a concern. Could Rodgers be the veteran voice we need? What do you think, Purple Crew? The stakes are rising. Kwesi's waiting till May to make a move, keeping those comp picks safe. What if McCarthy shines in OTAs? What if he doesn't? This is Vikings football at its wildest, full of heart and uncertainty. Where's your head at, fam? Let's hash it out in the comments. Time to dig in. Kwesi's presser was a love letter to McCarthy's potential. He's exceeded every bar, he says, and I'm picturing JJ out there, ready to light up US Bank Stadium. The Vikings drafted him for a reason. $12 million says he's our guy. Last college season, he had a 147.6 passer rating, stud status, right? But Rodgers keeps us guessing. Kwesi's like, we're happy for now, but he won't rule Aaron out. Those O'Connell talks? They're real, and Rodgers wants to start. 59,055 yards say he's still got it. Imagine him with our retooled O-line and Aaron Jones in the backfield. Vikings fans, does that get your blood pumping? Or are we all in on JJ? Here's the hook. Kwesi's building a QB room with insurance. He's not rushing, eyeing that May deadline. What if McCarthy falters? What if Rodgers waits us out? This is pure Vikings drama, and I'm hooked. Where do you land, Skull Nation? Drop it below. Let's get real. Kwesi's laying it all out there. He's hyping McCarthy. That's where we're headed, he says, and I'm feeling the chills. JJ's been out a year, but he's back 100% and ready to roll. Vikings faithful. This kid's our hope. 27 wins in 28 starts at Michigan ain't no fluke. Rodgers, though? Kwesi's keeping it cryptic. Things can change. He teases, and I'm picturing Aaron in purple, slinging it. He's a free agent wildcard, and the Vikings haven't filled that number 2 spot. Ripon's our only backup. 10 games in 6 years. We need depth, and Rodgers could be it. What's your call, Purple Posse? The tension's electric. Kwesi's playing the comp pick game, holding off till May. What if JJ's not ready? What if Rodgers signs elsewhere? This is Vikings football, raw and unfiltered. Where's your heart at, fam? Let's talk it out. All right, let's ramp it up. Kwesi's presser was pure Vikings fire. He's all about McCarthy. He's our guy, he basically says, and I'm screaming skull. JJ's rehabbed, he's hungry, and he's got that championship DNA, 72.3% completion in 2023-24. That's our future right there. But Rodgers won't fade. Kwesi's like, we're good. But, and I'm hanging on every word. Aaron's out there, a free agent legend, and O'Connell's his buddy. Vikings went 13-4 last year. Imagine Rodgers stepping in with that squad. Purple fans, are we crazy to want that, or is JJ enough? Here's the kicker, Kwesi's plotting a veteran move, but he's patient. May's the deadline and the clock's ticking. What if McCarthy owns OTAs? What if Rodgers bolts to Pittsburgh? This is Vikings chaos, and I'm loving it. Where do you stand, Skull Crew? Hit me up. Let's dive deep. Kwesi's got us dreaming big. He's pumping up McCarthy. Exceeded expectations, he says, and I'm picturing JJ tearing it up in purple. He's 22, fresh, and ready to lead. Over 2,900 yards his last college year. Vikings Nation, this is our QB1 vibe, right? Rodgers, though? Kwesi's leaving crumbs. It's his call, he says, and I'm wondering what Aaron's thinking. He's unsigned, and the Vikings need a backup. Rippon's not cutting it with 4 career starts. Rodgers could mentor and start if needed, 475 TDs worth of know-how. What do you reckon, Purple Faithful? The suspense is wild. Kwesi's waiting till May, keeping those picks safe. What if JJ shines? What if Rodgers walks? This is Vikings football, baby, full of twists and passion. Where's your head at, Skull fam? Let's get loud in the comments. Okay, let's bring it home. Kwesi's presser was a Vikings rally cry. He's all in on McCarthy. That's the plan, he says, and I'm feeling the hype. JJ's back 100% and ready to sling it. 27-1 as a starter says he's built for this. Purple pride soaring. Fam. Rodgers, though? Kwesi's sly. We're happy, but things can change. He hints, and I'm picturing Aaron in our huddle. He's a free agent X-Factor, and we've got O'Connell's connection. Vikings added $300 million in free agency. Rodgers could be the cherry on top. What's your vibe, Skull Squad? Here's the final twist. Kwesi's eyeing May for that veteran move. What if McCarthy dominates? What if Rodgers waits us out? This is our story, Vikings fans. Raw, real, and thrilling. Where do you land? Drop it below. Alright, Skull Nation. We've dissected this QB saga. Now it's your turn. Kwesi's betting on McCarthy, our 22-year-old stud, to lead us in 2025. And I'm pumped. 72.3% completion, 22 TDs, pure gold. But Rodgers, that 41-year-old legend with 59,055 yards, still looms. Vikings faithful, are we riding with JJ or dreaming of Aaron? The clock's ticking. Kwesi's waiting till May, balancing comp picks and depth. Rippon's our only backup, so we need a move. What if JJ falters? What if Rodgers joins us late? This is Vikings football, heart-pounding and unpredictable. I'm buzzing. How about you? So, Purple Crew, let's wrap this up. Hit that like button if you're hyped for McCarthy, comment your Rodgers take, and subscribe for more Vikings news. Share this with your Skull buddies because we're building this hype together. Until next time, keep the faith. Skull Vikings.